This video is not about real estate at all, but I just felt called to share it. So we moved out of our main house onto the smaller house on our property. It's like 1,282 square feet to be exact. And I had some gals help me out on Friday to pack, and Saturday the movers were supposed to come. Like, they brought over some of like our clothes, our groceries, so that like we could spend the night Friday night and like wake up and have all the things. They were wonderful. Our movers were atrocious, and we had worked with them moving from Sarasota to Naples, and they're not the most cost effective, but I didn't mind paying it because I thought like it was such a great experience. You're dealing with thousands of dollars of furniture, you know, like it's worth it. I can't even talk anymore about it. It was atrocious. But I will say within the end of Saturday, we were moved in, we knew everything was, and I am so grateful that I paid those women on Friday because, like I said, it was a peaceful feeling to be all set. And it was more expensive to pay two women. I think they worked like 6 hours to like do all of that, and cost of labor in Naples isn't it's high. But it was such a great feeling because one of them was a single mom, and she doesn't normally work because she can't. That's a whole other story, but I was able to give her like 3 figures of money, you know, for her family. And I don't view things as extra expenses these days. I view it as like money flowing in and out of our family and back into the community. So on that, we've had a heck of a weekend, and I listed all of our old appliances for sale because there's just this weird feeling of like completely getting rid of a house, and like the cabinets and the appliances that are in there, like they work, you know. So I was feeling kind of guilty, and we're giving all of our cabinets to a family that needs them. And so our appliances, I was just like, I put them on Facebook Marketplace, honestly trying to make a couple bucks. And this guy approached me right away, and he's like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I was like, okay, great. And my husband went over to the other house to help him, move it and unload it. And my husband calls me, he's like, what's the price that we decided on? And he's supposed to give me, and I told him. And my husband goes, I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm feeling the Lord telling me to just give him this appliance. It was the stove, and anything else he might need. And I was like, you feel like that's the Lord? And he said, I absolutely do. I was like, okay, great. So no problem. Like, I was gonna make a couple $100, but like, if you feel like the Lord is telling you to give it to this man, do it. So he starts talking to the guy, finds out the guy is living in a rental. He has 2 kids and a wife, and their stove went out and their landlord won't fix it. So this guy went and got another stove, paid for it, and it broke. And they are sparse on money. So my husband was like, you can just have it. And he was like, I can't take it for free. My husband was like, please just take it. If you want to do something in return, like, please use your time and talents to help someone else. In the meantime, they had a discussion about the Lord. The Lord wanted to use that stove for Jacob to be able to tell this man about Jesus. This man said he's Catholic, and he goes 2 or 3 times a year to church, but he doesn't feel a connection to God or the Lord. And he was telling us about his family, how Jacob asked him how he could pray for him, and he's like, a lot of my family just feels like victims, that they can't like get up and do something with their lives, and they're complaining. And he's like, I want to be the change maker in my family to raise my kids in the Lord and whatnot. So Jacob invited him to church, and it was just a moment. The Lord used me getting rid of that stove on Facebook Marketplace to evangelize to this man. And he ended up saying he would like the fridge, and so we were like, okay, come back at this time. And he wasn't there, and we were like, okay, if there's 15 other people that want this. He's like, I'm so sorry, we're coming, we'll be right there. Find out they had spent 3 hours cleaning out that stove. They valued it so much, it meant so much to them, that they wanted to make it perfect and clean. And the wife showed us a picture of the stove, of how much she cleaned it up. And like, this isn't about me doing good, of helping people like that, but it is more of using your time and talents for others, but in a way that the Lord might have a different plan. Like, the Lord used the stove to give my husband an opportunity to teach this man about the Lord. So we invited them to church, and then some of his family members, like one's an electrician, he needs a new job. So my husband said, give me a call. And we're tied into the construction industry down here based on our electrical company. So, and he had like another brother that is looking for work. So thank you, Jesus, for putting that on my husband's heart. Thank you, Jacob, for listening to the Lord. And it's just really cool to see how the Lord can work in numerous ways through a stove. So anyways, listen to the Lord. He has a reason. There is an intent. And it was not about making a buck. It was about the kingdom, doing kingdom work, eternal work. This money on this earth doesn't matter. Money to us flows in and out of us to be able to serve others and make the kingdom, make heaven crowded. So have a good one.